Hey everyone, it's Chad, AB6CL, and welcome to the world of ham radio. So I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up on some of the pictures and videos I've been putting up lately. Just recently, I started doing Instagram and Snapchat. I'm still working on learning how they work, but I'm still doing Facebook as well. So wherever you're seeing me, please feel free to share and like my content. So today I'm going to elaborate on a picture of a water dripping. If you're looking on Facebook, you've seen the two different water buckets. One was a little drip in a bucket, signifying low power radio, and another one was a boulder in an ocean, signifying high power radio. And a little example of antenna power and how the information radiates. Now that particular example was an omnidirectional, which is what the car in front of you would be using to transmit. So just for a little definition, I always do my videos for a broad audience. So if you know more about this stuff that I'm telling about here, well, you're just going to have to bear with me. Moving on, an antenna is a device to transmit or receive electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves are referred to as radio waves. Now, I may not get into that specific part of the definition this time, but I will go into that specifically at some point. I'm going to do the basics tonight. So there is a directional and an omnidirectional. And basic idea is directional points all or most of its energy in one direction. And an omnidirectional, signified by the spinning, is an antenna that transmits similar to the pebble in the water picture that I put up on Facebook last week. You throw the pebble in, and that signifies the power output from going to the antenna, and then the signal radiates out in the same pattern. So just a little idea about how the signal runs through the coax coming to the antenna. And again, I'm not going to explain everything that's going on here right now because it's a little bit more in depth than I want to get into tonight. But tonight I just want to give the basics. So this essentially is the energy going through the antenna coax and coming into the antenna. So receiving, same idea. Transmitting. So the signal goes through the coax and out the antenna, and then you're transmitting. And this is a signifying transceiver. And on one side it shows how it's receiving and how it's transmitting, and sometimes doing that simultaneously. A cell phone does that actually. The antenna on your cell phone, whether an old style that's outside of the base or one of the newer ones that's built in, it still has an antenna and it's transmitting and receiving information constantly as long as the cellular device is powered on. And here's a little slow motion thing about what is going on. And over here is just a little idea of the actual coax coming in. And in this instance here, the coax is coming into a tuner first from the antenna and then going from the tuner to the radio. And that means whether automatic or manual tuner, you can tune your radio. And basically, the definition, antennas for dummies, if you would, it just means that it's electrically shortening and lengthening your antenna. Maybe I'll get into that more in depth on another video, but that's the information coming into the antenna. So omnidirectional. So here's a little example. Say you're driving down the road and you've got all these antennas from one place to the other. You could use this with cellular devices or with amateur radio, but the antenna is up on a mountaintop, and your omnidirectional antenna on top of your car is constantly looking for that that signal that's coming from the mountaintop. So a little bit more of a graphic there, but that's the same idea. So here's a guy, either like again, cell phone or radio. It sees an antenna up on the top of the mountain. And let's say he went to talk to a guy that's maybe on the other side of the mountain. Well, this guy over on the other side of the mountain can see that antenna as well. He's just seeing a different side of it. And since that antenna radiates up on the mountain equally in all directions, it's seeing both sides of the mountain. So therefore, we can talk to each other. So here's the water demonstration I was telling you about. And this little thing right here signifies the energy coming from the radio or the power source into the antenna, and then going down and radiating equally in all directions. And so that is, if that's a low power radio, then the see, there we go, low power, did it in slow motion to signify low power, and all the information is being radiated equally. So high power, that big boulder comes down, giving a higher power to the ripples, and therefore the ripples will go farther, as long as, and as well as your energy coming out of the antenna and into the antenna, actually. So basic dipole, I'm going to go back here, I missed a slide there. So basic dipole antenna here, there is a little spot on the top where it's not going to radiate. It radiates around, and there's a little dead area on top. But down here you can see that this is the, I didn't put the animation in it because I'm focusing on the what's going on in the antenna, but this is the information coming in and going out, radiating through. And so again, the information coming in and going out and giving that positive and negative electricity. And so here's a picture of a coax. The coax on either side is basically just a representation of the same coax, but going different directions. And you'll see that there's different elements in the coax itself. This black part here is the coax that you would see, and there are some copper wires or different elements that are able to make that signal transmit effectively. And so that is a little bit of a preview. These slides I'm not going to give much explanation for, but this is a little preview of more on antenna. That is a grounding for a dipole, equally in all directions. And a directional antenna, this is a directional antenna, basic idea here. And you'll see there, the arrows that are blinking are transmitting the signal, and the arrows that are moving right to left, left to right, or just reflecting everything. And next slide here, we'll see basically how it goes. So gain is basically power. Increase the power, increase the gain. And so if you have a directional antenna on your house going to a mountaintop, it's going to shoot that information in the direction that you point it. And it's going to receive that direction, that information as well. And so, I'm going to end that, and we'll go back to there. And let's see if I can find one here. So I'm just going to go there. And anyways, so that is the basic idea of what antennas 101, if you will. So I hope everybody has a happy Thanksgiving, because that's coming up in the next couple of weeks. And if I don't get another video up between now and then I hope that it is all good. So slideshow today, and we'll see what happens next time. This is Chad London, AB6CL 73s.